options are. And in our case, like Lisa mentioned before, we had the state-run numbers, 6.5 staff members above state minimum, 6.5 or 7.5. And so we didn't have enough to cut the next time that we would have had to make cuts if we hadn't passed this levy in February. And so you look at that, you look at how much time and effort and energy went into passing something in a community that's been hit really hard by this recession. Like I mentioned before, free and reduced lunches doubled. We have empty houses all over the place, and the list goes on and on and on. And then 2 days after we pass this levy, or a day or 3, I don't know what it was, but no sooner than we pass it, we get a spreadsheet from the state that shows that we go from not being on the guarantee to being $1.1 million on the guarantee. We are 54 students above it under the current model right now. We go 1.1 on if the governor's proposal goes through as is. And I know you're in a different situation to the positive, but for us, we go 1.1 million on right away. And sitting there thinking, how in God's name can Waterloo do anything different here? I mean, there's no way that we're going to be able to go back to this community in 2 years if his proposal goes through and say we need more money and think that there's any likelihood that a community that's tapped out is going to be able to give any more.
Since both of us have classroom needs, I would like to venture and look into classroom resources of sharing rather than, and then have somebody at the top of each place delegating it. Because leadership is, again, delegation also. So you start at the top and you start figuring out where we can start working together on helping you with the special ed kids and start doing that kind of resource, because we aren't that far apart as far as driving distance either.
And I don't see how you guys can actually, say that yes, we can split one person between 2 districts, yet still be able to give 100%. That's not logical to me. I just think you're trying to spread your frosting too thin here.
What I see, though, is that the Waterloo Board and Superintendent have taken a very different path to getting here tonight than what the field board has. And I think that there's just a tremendous amount of baggage that the field board has that they bring to this process. And I think that's just going to make things very, very difficult.